the thing is, when you talk about delivery business, there are a lot of opportunities in the industry. So the question is, how do you position yourself? All right. So in today's conversation, I want to talk to you about something called last mile delivery. Okay, there's a lot of money to be made in this industry. People are making millions right now, and I want to give you 7 steps to starting your own last mile logistics company and raking in big time. Don't you go anywhere. You're gonna love today's conversation. I guarantee it.
One in a million, one in a million, one in a million. You know they're coming up to me, cause I'm just the kind of flower that's stinging from the beat, but the rhythm's getting higher. Go, 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 go. One in a million, one in a million, one in a million, one in a million, one in a million.
Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Suited Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about last mile delivery business, and I'm going to give you 7 steps, 7 proven steps to starting your own last mile logistics business, and rake it in big time. Let me first give you the steps. Okay, we're going to talk about the steps, all you need to do, and to actually make it big. The first thing you need to understand, what are we talking about? What is last mile delivery? I mean, you can probably guess what last mile delivery means, right? Because people are thinking about the concept itself. But just in case, here is the gist of it. So last mile delivery is a logistics term that refers to the final stage of a product's journey. Let's say from a business, like a retailer, distribution center, or a warehouse to the customer. So it literally refers to the last mile that needs to be completed for a product to go into the customer's hand. Do you follow me? Okay. So last mile delivery is really complete when the product has reached the customer's home, business, or another designated drop-off points, such as a lockbox or whatnot. Okay. So on top of getting a package to the customer safely and securely, what we want to have here is that last mile delivery has to be accurate. This is very important. It has to be speedy, has to be really fast and cost efficient. Okay. But the thing here is that unfortunately, there are a lot of hurdles, there are a lot of obstacles that's standing in the way of good last mile logistics. Okay. So we have a lot of problems that can be bad weather. We're having delivery vehicle issues. There's a lot of stuff that can happen and make that very complicated. So we have failed deliveries. Okay. So the thing here is that when you want to have you want to have a perfect, let's say a perfect last mile delivery process. In other words, you have a new order received and logged. The order is assigned to a driver. The order is loaded into the vehicle. Order reaches the customer and order fulfillment is confirmed. So that's the ideal scenario here. Okay. So pro tips. Here are some few pro tips here. Before you get into a last mile delivery business, I want you to really understand the ins and outs of the industry. What is last mile? How do you position yourself across this value chain? Okay. Where do you really add value and how can you monetize your positioning onto that market? Listen to more. The second thing I want you to really do, boss, I want you to do some research. Oh, I'm talking about some hard research. Don't you get into an industry you have no idea or you have, let's say, an approximate idea about. You want to have a clear idea. Why? Because you are going to spend a lot of time, energy, a lot of money, not a lot of money, but some money to actually set yourself up, right? So if you don't want to set yourself up for a failure, we want to do some preparation here. Chief, do you hear that? So do some research. Who are the top last mile delivery companies? You want to have a clear idea of the big players in the industry. Okay, so we have UPS. Okay, so the United Parcel Service has been in business for over a century. So we're talking about a behemoth here, UPS. Okay, we have FedEx. So FedEx is one of the top third-party logistics providers in the industry, and they operate worldwide. So you're talking about, again, another behemoth. All right, we have Postmates. So the Postmates is actually dedicated to food delivery. bringing restaurant meals to customers' doors. So this is a big player also in last mile delivery. So we have Uber Eats. Everybody knows Uber Eats. So Uber Eats is doing the same thing as Postmates, their competitors. So they actually deliver meals, but they actually started delivering a lot of other stuff too. I'm talking about flowers and whatnot. Okay. So you have Instacart. So unlike Uber Eats and Postmates, Instacart focuses on delivering grocery store goods to customers, not ready-made restaurant meals. Okay. So here are some of the players here. Now, the thing here is that you also want to pay attention to. So I was just talking to you about the quote unquote established businesses. Now let's talk about some last mile delivery startups and companies you want to watch. Okay, so there are some new players. They are kicking ass like crazy. So we have OnFleet. Okay, OnFleet, they started about 7 years ago. They are headquartered in San Francisco. They're doing a good job. They have a lot of features like route optimization, auto dispatching, electronic proof of delivery, predictive ETAs, driver chat, real-time tracking, last mile reporting. You have Nuro. So Nuro was started about 6 years ago. They are headquartered in Mountain View, California, and they actually do autonomous delivery vehicle, and they do it. Their vehicles are built especially for the last mile. Okay. You also have a Starship Technologies. They started about 8 years ago. They are in San Francisco, California, a great company also. And the thing here is that this company was launched by the co-founders of Skype. So you can see that there are some great expertise there. Okay, you have Matternet, and they started about 10 years ago. They are in Menlo Park, California, and they do a lot of things in terms of helping people solve challenges based on last mile. Okay. We have Amazon Flex that you probably know. They started about 6 years ago, and this is owned by Amazon itself. So great company. And you have Piggyby. So they started about 10 years ago, and they are a crowd shipping community that lets users search for travelers by browsing departures and arrivals in different cities. Okay, so this is really good. So the question is, what is the last mile delivery problem? I mean, you really need to understand, boss. If you want to profit from this challenge, you really need to have a clear idea of what we're talking about. So keeping up with the major players in last mile logistics is easier said than done. Okay. So whatever the type of documents you are transporting, I really don't care. You can talk about legal documents, let's say restaurant meals, groceries, retail products, or whatnot. You have to face one harsh truth if you really think about it. That's the last mile of the delivery process. It's usually the most expensive one. Okay, so this is what it is, and we have done research, and we have seen that it really accounts for nearly 55 to 60% of shipping costs. That's a lot of cash if you really think about it. And so there are a lot of reasons why you have the high price tag. Okay. I've said before, you have weather, you have distance. Some customers are located in some crazy, very remote places. Okay, you have delivery routes that are not really optimized. Okay, you have vehicle problems. There's a lot of stuff that makes it very hard to actually complete the last mile of that delivery. Okay, and on top of that, you have challenges of last mile delivery. You have fuel inefficiency. Okay, I mean, fuel can be a huge cost for last mile delivery. Okay, and because delivery vehicles rather, they don't just get on the highway and drive straight through. If you really think about it, they need to stop, they need to start, they need to stand idle a lot, resulting in a poor fuel inefficiency and more money spent on gas. Okay, you have wasted workforce hours. So, because if you really think about it, the nature of, nature of delivery driving also means that vehicles spend a lot of time sitting idle, really. I mean, they could be stuck in traffic, for instance. They could be stuck at traffic lights, and the thing is that idling vehicles means wasted workforce, as you have to pay drivers for essentially doing nothing. So you have repeated delivery attempts. We all know what it is. I mean, if delivery fails the first time, your driver will have to return and fulfill the delivery a second or even a third or fourth time. Think about it. And deliveries can fail for a number of reasons here, okay? From mistaken addresses to failing to give customers time delivery windows. And so this further wastes people's power and needs for additional and needs actually additional fuel usage. Okay, and you also have inefficient delivery routing. We all know about that. You got to really program. You got to schedule your driver at the right time and all that kind of stuff. So here is the decision. The decision you have to make is, how do you solve that last mile delivery problem? In other words, where do you position your company? How do you actually put yourself in the value chain so you can profit from that inefficiency? Because a challenge or a series of challenges is kind of cool for you, because this means that you have a solution to bring to the table. So the third thing I want you to do is to get legit. So I'll just explain to you that you need to understand what we're talking about. You need to research. This is really important. Third thing is you need to get legit. So what I'm talking about, I just want you to have a legit business. If you want to make money in last mile delivery business, you got to be legit. And I'm talking about legal structure. That's the first thing we want to talk about. So we want to get legit in terms of choosing whether you want to be an LLC, an S Corp, a C Corp, an LP, or whatever. You can even be a sole proprietorship. This is not a real problem. Or you can be a single member LLC. Whatever you choose, whatever structure you choose, make sure that you can divorce your personal affairs from your business's affairs. This is why we don't recommend on this show that you stay a sole proprietorship, because when you do that, your ass is not preserved. Your ass is not protected. Something happens to you, your personal assets are actually in line. So we really want to divorce. You want to separate that. Okay, it's important. So choose the right legal structure. You want to file for an EIN. So EIN stands for Employer Identification Number. So you want to talk to the IRS. Actually, if you go to the IRS website, www.irs.gov, you have an opportunity to file for an EIN. Okay. Make sure that you have your articles of organization, articles of incorporation ready based on the legal structure you have chosen. Okay. This is important. And because in case you need some funding for your business, you're going to have to show all those foundational documents. Okay. And trying to have a business bank account is important. You want to have all the licenses and permits that pertain to your particular industry. Okay. And don't forget insurance. This is important also, because again, talking about preserving your personal assets and your business assets, you need to have insurance, the proper insurance. Okay. And you need to have CDL if needed. Okay. Commercial driver's license if needed. Again, it depends on where you position yourself on the last mile delivery value chain, okay, and what kind of vehicle you're driving. And think about branding. I'm talking about logo, websites, social media, and whatnot. And trying to have a business phone number also, okay. Don't you just use your personal phone number, your mobile number, your personal mobile number as a business number. No, you want to separate. Again, you want to separate your personal affairs from your business's affairs. The fourth thing I want you to do, boss, is to operate. Okay, so you've done all that research. You understand what last mile delivery is. You have actually you have gotten legit. Now it's time to operate, and I'm talking about improve and profit on in-house last mile deliveries. Okay, and it is a way for you to actually make money. And the way you want to do this, you want to structure yourself in a way that you seize all opportunities in the industry. I'm talking about whether you are a single member LLC or whether you are an independent contractor working by yourself or just having a team. Okay. And make sure that you optimize your driver's routes. If you actually either you have one or two or whatever drivers who are working for you, you want to have that. You want to track deliveries effectively. Okay. Keep customers updated. This is really important. We're talking about notifying customers so you don't waste time actually filling deliveries and having to go back and back and back. Okay, so communication is really important. You want to simplify package finding, and you want to confirm, and that's a quintessential element here. You want to confirm delivery success. Okay, so however you do it, I really don't care if you do it through software or you do it manually. You got to have those 5 elements. They are important. Okay, so optimize your driver's routes. You want to track deliveries effectively. You want to keep customers updated. You want to simplify package finding. And you want to confirm delivery success. Okay. And what are we talking about when we talk about route optimization? Well, the thing here is that you need to give your drivers the more, let's say, the most efficient routes, because you are allowing them to get their deliveries done with greater speed and accuracy. In other words, you need to have a Google Maps or some kind of maps about your driver's routes, and you want to actually cut through all the traffic jam, it's not just about the fastest route, it's also about the most efficient route. Okay. And you have a lot of software tools that do that for you. So obviously, this is not something you want to do manually, because it can be complicated unless you operate in a very small geography that you know very well. If you want to grow, if you want to scale, you want to buy software. And I'm not giving names in this show, but if you type route optimization software tools on Google, you're going to have a bunch of results. Okay. But this is important. You want to give your drivers the tools they need to get their work done faster. Okay. And also, when we talk about faster, we're talking about work easier as well. Okay. And drivers will appreciate being able to get the job done with minimal hassle. Again, I'm talking about either you, or if you have a team of drivers, this is important. The next thing I want you to do is to solve. See, we are in business to solve problems. We want to solve hurdles. We want to solve a conundrum. Okay, it's important. And one thing I want to do is, you want to offer real solutions to your target audience. If your job is to make money, to make it big in the last mile delivery business, you need to have a clear idea of the problems that your audience faces and how to solve that problem. Okay. And we have already established that last mile delivery can be a challenge, right? In terms of distance, in terms of route optimization, in terms of how to reach the customer on time. And we're talking about more idle time and more time on the road. We have established that already. And the thing you need to understand is that there are certain businesses that are affected by the last mile delivery problem. Okay. So this business, and I want you to really write it down. I want you to write this down, boss, because those could be your customers here. If you are if you have a last mile delivery business, the list I'm going to give you right now could be your potential customers. So this businesses include, I'm talking about the businesses that have problems in their last mile delivery. So we have third party logistics companies. Okay. We have couriers. We have direct to consumer model retail companies. We have food delivery companies. We have supermarkets offering delivery. We have department stores offering delivery. We have florists. We have restaurants offering delivery. We have pharmacies offering delivery. We have e-commerce. Boss, if you really think about that, that's bonanza right there. Okay, that's bonanza. So you have a lot of you have a ready-made clientele that you can pitch to and make money. That's what we're talking about here. So the last mile delivery process is very expensive for many reasons. And again, when I'm talking about expensive, I'm talking about both opportunities for you, because that's revenue, that's potential revenue, but also cost in terms of if you cannot manage these problems properly, they will eat into your profits, and we don't want that. So here are the problems: that you have lower average speeds. In other words, more time on the road and fewer miles per gallon. Okay. You have more stops that lead to more idling and downtime, which is really good, which is really bad rather. If you have failed delivery, that's if you have a series of failed deliveries, that's waste money. That's the wasted money. That's wasted energy. You know, they're not, and you also have complex routes that lead to more out of route miles. Okay. And you have returns, refunds, or discounts. So you have a constellation of problems there. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. I'm still talking to you today about the last mile delivery business, and we are seeing how to actually set things up and I'm giving you all the tools. I'm spilling all the beans you need to have so that you can clearly understand what we're talking about and make a decision. Okay. Now I want to talk to you about optimizing. In other words, you need to optimize your route. And I was just telling you earlier that it's important if you want to save money to actually optimize your route, not only for your drivers but for yourself. Okay, what does that mean? Let's just break it down. Routes, my fault here. Route optimization. So this is basically, let me just picture it very simply here. So this is the process of finding the shortest and most cost-efficient route to manage a list of deliveries. Okay, so since your driver's routes typically involve a lot more than 2 points, finding the best route is a complex challenge, and you can use software for that. So route optimization software helps, for example, your business consider all the variables and efficiently plan and schedule deliveries to your customers. So this is something that's really important. So basically, you are able to ensure that your product gets delivered as quickly as, let's say, as quickly and cheaply as possible. Okay, the cheap part is really important here. Okay, and so if you want to actually, so you can use software. I think this is not something you can do manually here. Okay, so just let's say route optimization software can help you do a lot of things. So real-time order tracking and automatic customer notifications. That's one advantage that you can actually derive from this kind of software. Okay, so you're notifying your customers in real time that their product is coming or it has been delivered and whatnot. Okay, you have automated route planning that considers time windows and other constraints. This is important. The third advantage here is that mobile app that helps ensure live ETA tracking and fewer failed deliveries. Okay, and when we talk about last mile delivery business, we are talking about real-time notification, and having an app that actually confirms things like ETAs or delivery notifications is really important. And with the software tools, you also have much faster rerouting and scheduling on the fly. This is important, and you can handle flexible seasonal demand without issue. We all know that the holiday season is really a problematic time for a lot of businesses in terms of deliveries. Okay, but hey, listen, if you really think about it, that's bonanza for you. That's an opportunity for you. You just got to have the right approach. Speaking about approach, what is your approach for route optimization? Do you want to do things manually? Do you want to do things with software? Do you want to have a hybrid approach? What is your approach, boss? I want you to talk to me about that, because that's going to actually be the fulcrum, the foundation of your success. Okay, very important. The last thing I want to talk to you today, if you want to succeed on your journey of a last mile delivery businessman or woman, and I would just want you to promote. See, all the things that I've been telling you, you have a great business and whatnot. Everybody knows you in the neighborhood. But if the right types of clients don't know you, you can't be making money. And the whole thing is just to make money. Okay. So we're talking about actually marketing. We're talking about promotion. We are talking about making people know about your business, that you are there, you're kicking ass, you are really doing great. So you can actually promote on your website, and I encourage you to have a website, by the way. And you don't have to you don't need a fancy website. Honestly, you can have a 1 page or 2 pages where you actually explain the kind of services you propose. And I don't care whether you're an independent contractor or you're a multi-member LLC. A lot of folks just make the mistakes of saying, "Hey, listen, I just work by myself. I don't think I need a bit. I need a website." Boss, you are so wrong. Okay, a website gives you a lot of opportunities. Okay, you can actually add common search terms on your website. We're talking about keyword research here, SEO optimization. Okay, you can claim your listings. Yeah, when we talk about Google local, Google My Business, this is kind of cool. You need to think about your email marketing. So when we talk about promotion, first you can promote on your website. You can promote through your email marketing. Okay, this is important because gradually you're going to constitute a small email list, and you want to optimize that list. You want to actually provide value, of course, but you also want to extract as much money from that list as possible. You want to ask for referrals and reviews. Okay, it's important. You want to create a newsletter. Okay. The thing is, I'm just asking you, and again, you don't have to do anything yourself. There are a lot of websites out there that do this for you. You can outsource the whole thing. Okay. It will cost you $10, boss, $10 for you to actually have a newsletter, a professionally written newsletter. $10 or $25 maximum, because you're going to have somebody to write the newsletter, and then you're going to have a designer to actually package the whole thing. But $25. Okay. And so it's good to create a newsletter, and you can have also some social media strategies. Okay, whether you want to invest in Facebook ads, or you want to set up or polish up your Facebook business page. Okay, so here are the pro tips. You need to understand what kind of industry you're in. You need to understand your niche, and based on those two elements, you want to build a website. You want to think about your email marketing, and you want to think about your social media strategies, including what kind of social media platform you should be on, whether it is Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and whatnot. All right, boss, this is it for today's conversation. I was talking to you about the last mile delivery business. How do you actually set things up so you can make money right off the bat? Okay. And you need to understand the problems. You need to research here. You need to get legit. You need to operate efficiently. You want to solve problems. You want to optimize routes for yourself or for your drivers. And you want to systematically promote your business. I will see you next time. Thank you so much for your attention. God bless, and stay marvelous.